Well, that's super interesting because she's already booed up. She's been out with a tall, light-skinned baller.
We are going to be counting down the biggest Bachelor villains of 2021. Hey guys, and welcome back to another shared news. We have got our list here of the biggest villains of 2021 in Bachelor Nation. But before we get into it, make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel and ring the bell so you never miss out on any future videos. As always, I am your host and Bachelor expert, Zachary Reality, and we have quite the list here of Bachelor villains from 2021. We are talking about the biggest villains from this year, from Matt James's season to Katie Thurston's season to Paradise Michelle's season and everywhere in between. Before I get into this list, it is definitely open for conversation, so make sure you guys are following along so you can leave your comments down below on who you think was the biggest villain of 2021. Coming in at number 5, we have the one and only Thomas Jacobs. Now, while a lot of us think he has redeemed himself on Paradise, we cannot forget what happened on Katie Thurston's season. Thomas came into the season extremely arrogant, extremely ready to be the next Bachelor. He was not afraid of drama. He was not afraid of getting in the mix of things, and it ultimately led him to being called out by all of the guys in the house, so much so that Katie had to end his Bachelor audition at the rose ceremony, which he got sent home. Thomas was the biggest villain. He ended up going into Bachelor in Paradise for a second chance to redeem himself. We all saw what happens where he fell in love with Becca Kufrin. He kind of made amends with some of the guys. It definitely had a little bit of a shaky road. He had a kind of a rough start, but ultimately he did come out victorious. But we cannot discredit what a villain he was on Katie's season, so he definitely deserves to be number 5 on this list. Coming in at number 4, we have the one and only Kendall Long. Kendall was a Bachelor OG. She was on Ari Lyondike's season a few years back. She was on Paradise a couple years ago where she got engaged to Joe, but this year she returned to the beach in Mexico for redemption. Or did she just return to get Joe back? This summer on Bachelor in Paradise, Kendall had one goal and one goal only in the beach, and that was to interrupt grocery store Joe. She spent her entire time on the beach getting in between the relationship that was Joe and Serena, so much so that she even crashed the proposal. That is a villain, if you ask me, willing to show up the day he is about to get engaged to someone else. Kind of messy, kind of a villain. Kendall definitely belongs on this list. Coming in at number 3, we have not the goddess, but the queen, Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria was a villain on Matt James's season when she arrived with a throne, with men carrying her a giant crown and ready to F it up. Queen Victoria had no boundaries when it came to getting involved in drama with the other girls in the house. She was constantly in one feud after another feud, and it went on and on. So much so that she even took someone else's crown off their head. We cannot forget the scene when Queen Victoria took Queen Catalina's crown off of her head and declared it her own. She was definitely referred to as a mean girl in the house, and ultimately threw a tantrum when Matt James decided to send her home. A lot of the girls were coming at her, saying that she was a mean girl. They told Matt about it, and Queen Victoria, she did redeem her image in Paradise when she was Goddess Victoria, but we cannot forget that she was the villain of Matt James's season, so she definitely belongs on the list. Coming in at number 2 from Michelle Young's season, of course, Jamie. I mean, Jamie was definitely a villain, and there was a lot of villains on Michelle's season, but Jamie topped them all, so much so that he was not even allowed to sit with the rest of the men at the Men Tell All, and he was pretty much pressured into apologizing, as he was refusing to apologize to Michelle after the many spring break comments and calling out Joe and, calling out that guy that Michelle maybe saw before the show and making a scene. Jamie was definitely the biggest villain of the season, and he had no shame about it, even taking to his Instagram to call out the haters when they tried to hold him accountable. Jamie definitely deserves to be number 2 on this list. However, there is no one more deserving than the biggest villain, or should I say villains, of the year in Bachelor Nations. The couple couple that really shook things up, Brendan and Pieper. Brendan and Pieper were kind of fan favorites on their seasons, especially Brendan on Tayshia's season. Pieper maybe not so much on Matt James's season, but Brendan went into Paradise with an opened mind, we thought, when he was dating Demi and Natasha, and that all came crumbling down when Pieper was a latecomer and arrived on the beach. When Pieper came on the beach, she made it clear that she was only here for Instagram followers and to see Brendan, and that was the only reason she came to the beach. She did not care about Natasha's feelings or anyone else's feelings. Her main concern was to get those followers and get Brendan and get off of the beach and be this TV couple that she has always dreamed of being in Us Weekly magazines. Brendan, on the other hand, manipulated Natasha, manipulated Demi. He lied to everyone on the beach about not having this secret relationship with Pieper. They had a plan, they had a plot going into Bachelor in Paradise. They knew exactly what they were doing, and the cameras caught it all, and they were outed and exposed for having this major manipulative game plan. They tried to kind of make apologies, and it really kept going as they continued to troll Natasha and Bachelor Nation on social media, specifically Pieper with her various TikToks, which were pretty triggering to a lot of people, as she did not seem to care about anyone's emotions or feelings but her own, and that made her and Brendan the biggest Bachelor Nation villains of the year. Before I ask for your opinion, we need to acknowledge that this is a television show and all these people are real life, so of course, yes, these are villains, but we also still respect them and love them and thank them for giving us good TV. At the end of the day, we do love to love, but we also love to hate. So definitely want to applaud the villains for being the ones. I know it is not easy and it does come with a lot of backlash, but it also gives us amazing Bachelor seasons full of drama. So who do you guys think are the biggest villains of 2021 in Bachelor Nation? Do you guys agree with our list? Let us know in the comments, and make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel and ring the bell so you never miss out on any future videos. As always, I am your host, Zachary Reality. You guys can follow me down below at Zachary Reality. Come talk all things Bachelor Nation with me. That is all we have for today, so thank you guys so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.